In the early years of the 20th century, the automobile was not a tool for the everyday commuter. It was a luxury fashion statement, a noisy toy reserved strictly for the ultra-wealthy. At the time, cars were custom made by hand, one at a time. Teams of highly skilled craftsmen spent weeks hammering, filing, and fitting a single vehicle from scratch. Because every part was uniquely shaped for that specific car, no two vehicles were identical. If a part broke down on the road, you could not just order a replacement. You had to hire a specialist to custom forge you a new one. This made early cars incredibly expensive, unreliable, and completely out of reach for the average citizen. But Henry Ford looked at these machines and saw a different future. To build a car for everyone, he realized he did not just need a new vehicle design. He needed to completely reinvent the factory floor. To achieve mass production, Ford focused on two revolutionary concepts: standardization and interchangeable parts. Instead of offering different colors, styles, and custom upgrades, Ford decided to build just one single reliable platform, the Model T. By limiting consumer choices, he could streamline his entire operation. He famously joked that customers could have any color they wanted, so long as it's black. This was not because he was stubborn, but because the black paint dried the fastest, keeping the factory moving.
Ford insisted that every single part of the Model T be machined to exact, identical measurements. A gear, a bolt, or a piston from one car had to fit perfectly into any other Model T coming off the line. This eliminated the need for custom fitting, filing, and hammering. Suddenly, Ford did not need to hire master craftsmen who spent years learning a trade. He could hire unskilled laborers whose job was not to design or shape parts, but simply assemble them. Even with interchangeable parts, early factory work was slow. Laborers still wasted hours walking around the building, fetching tools, and gathering pieces. In a traditional factory, the workers moved and the product stayed still. Ford realized that to speed things up, he had to flip that entirely. In 1913, inspired by the overhead trolley systems used in meat packing plants, Ford introduced the moving assembly line into the automotive world. The concept was simple but transformative. The car chassis was attached to a motorized conveyor belt and pulled slowly down a long line. Workers stood still at the designated stations, each equipped with the exact tools and parts they needed. Instead of building an entire car, each worker performed one highly specific task, like tightening two specific bolts or attaching a single wheel, before the car moved down the line to the next person.
The results completely changed the manufacturing world. Before the moving assembly line, it took over 12 hours to assemble a single Model T. After fine-tuning the speed of the belts and the spacing of stations, that time plummeted to just 93 minutes. By maximizing human efficiency and eliminating wasted movement, Ford's factory was soon pumping out a finished car every 10 seconds. But this extreme efficiency created a new crisis. The work on the assembly line was mind-numbing, repetitive, and exhausting. Workers hated the relentless pace and quit in massive numbers. To keep his lines running smoothly, Ford introduced another radical concept in 1914, the $5 day. He doubled the standard industrial wage and cut shifts from 9 hours to 8. This was not an act of charity, it was a brilliant business calculation. By drastically lowering the price of the car through factory automation and simultaneously raising his workers' wages, Ford created his own consumer base. For the first time in history, the people building a product could actually afford to buy it. A factory worker or small town farmer could now purchase a Model T with just a few months of savings. By the time the production of the Model T ended, Ford had sold over 15 million units. His true legacy was not the vehicle itself, but the birth of modern mass manufacturing. By mastering the moving assembly line, standardization, and the division of labor, he proved that goods could be produced faster, cheaper, and at a higher volume than anyone had ever thought possible. Henry Ford transformed the factory floor from a simple workshop into a finely tuned machine, establishing a blueprint that would soon shape the production of almost every modern consumer and permanently put on the world on wheels.